I'm Dominic McMullan, one of the senior managers within the Innov8 Group.
Yep, I'm Declan Bradley. Like Dominic, I was one of the directors within Acorn as well. So myself and Dominic were the two founding members of Acorn.
Probably just after we celebrated our 20 years in business, it was time to sit down and sort of think about the future, and think about the future for our own staff, our customers, and ourselves as well. And it is one of those things where we were very lucky in terms of the core staff that we had. Were very loyal to us, but being part of a small team, the good staff are always looking for potentially what is their growth plan within the company, and probably more importantly, they were always obviously going to be easy pickings for some of our competitors. So we wanted to try and think of how we could secure and provide a path for our staff, how we could sort of ensure that our customers felt that we could continue to provide an excellent level of service to them and meet their demands going forward. And for ourselves too, it was really just a fact where do we see ourselves in 5, 10 years time?
The idea of being acquired was something that I suppose we potentially considered over the last 18 to 24 months. I suppose as you grow in business and you've been in business for a period of time, you start to see both opportunities and threats. So I suppose we had built a good team within Acorn, and we wanted to give them the opportunity to grow from a professional perspective as well in terms of their own professional development. And I suppose we weren't sure if we could facilitate that type of growth. We've always been a Sage 50 and a Sage 200 partner. And again, thankfully became one of the sort of key partners within Ireland in that sphere. But we were obviously very aware of the idea of Sage Intacct coming along as well. So again, there was an opportunity to get involved with it whenever we would have been acquired by somebody different. And again, it was going to be more difficult for us to get on the Intacct bandwagon in terms of the investment it would have taken to become an Intacct partner, not only from a financial perspective, but also from a resource perspective as well. So I suppose that led us to the thought process that Sage Intacct would be seen as a relatively new product into Ireland as well, and we want to be part of that moving forward too. So it probably made the most sense from not only a product perspective, but from a resource perspective to partner with somebody to facilitate that. And I suppose that was one of the driving factors. It also potentially gave us an opportunity to take a step back from the actual running and the day-to-day running of a business and all that entails, to potentially concentrating more on what we would hope to enjoy moving forward, and try to hone in one area of the business more so than trying to cover all the areas of the business.
It wasn't a straightforward, easy decision. It was one of those things where you're always weighing up with what you put into it over what we both put into it over the last number of years, and how it did become really part of your life. It certainly wasn't a 9 to 5 process. People used to think because we were the owners of the business that we get all the holidays, but there certainly was a big commitment by the two of us. So really, whenever we were considering and taking a look at who we would team up with from an acquisition point of view, there was certainly a lot to consider and to make sure that it worked best for everybody.
Yeah, but I suppose as we discussed, the whole process did take a bit of time, and we did have conversations with other larger business partners than ourselves about potential moves. But again, it had to feel right from all aspects. It had to feel right from where we could see ourselves blending into the organization, where we could see opportunity for our staff, and where we could also see support and growth opportunities for our customer base as well. And I think probably from the discussions that we had with Carl and the Innov8 team, we felt more at home, we felt more comfortable with those conversations. I think both companies had a similar ethos and a similar set of values and how they want to be able to treat their customers and their staff moving forward. And that probably put us at a bit more ease than potentially some of the other people we spoke to. The process became easier as the discussions went on. We did feel more comfortable it was the right decision, and it was the right opportunity for us moving forward. As I say, everything is around how do we take Acorn to the next stage? You know, how do we capitalize on the opportunity that exists within the island of Ireland, and how do we capitalize that from a product perspective, a staffing perspective, and a growth perspective as well. So, and we felt that Innov8 had the same sort of ambitions as ourselves. They wanted to grow as an organisation. They saw a good opportunity within the island of Ireland, in that there was an opportunity to acquire one of the key partners within Ireland, and we sort of built a bit of a joint vision as to how we could go about that.